Okay, Madam Chairwoman, we can begin our meeting.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, welcome to the Planning Board meeting of June 2nd. Okay, would everyone please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty
for all.
and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Commissioners, Planning Board staff, ladies and gentlemen, as Chairwoman of the City of Paterson's Planning Board, I call this meeting of June 2nd to order. I hereby state that all the provisions of the State of New Jersey Public Meeting Law have been fully and completely met, that the notice of provisions required have been properly posted in the Planning Board office and with the City of Paterson clerk, that the public notice and advertisements have been published in the Herald News on 5/21/21 in accordance with the law, and that copies of such notice and public advertisements are on file in the Planning Board office, as is also the agenda listing the applications to be taken up by the Planning Board at this meeting. The procedure tonight will be in accordance with the rules, regulations, and bylaws as heretofore determined by the Planning Board at its office in the municipal complex in the City of Paterson. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You, Mr. Aquaviva? Yes.
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Ahmed?
Present.
Commissioner Brooks?
Here.
Commissioner Savagos?
Present.
Commissioner Cleaves is absent. Commissioner Figueroa?
Present.
Commissioner Fisher is absent. Commissioner Issa?
Present.
Commissioner Santana?
Present.
Councilman Kalik is absent. Commissioner Cleaves is absent. Commissioner Udine?
Mr. Kogo, I'm here.
And Chairwoman Rocco.
Present. Okay, thank you.
Chairman, we have 8.
Thank you very much. Okay, notice pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. Addressing the effect of coronavirus measures on the next public meeting. Consistent with the coronavirus-related restrictions of Executive Order Number 107 given on Saturday, March 21st, 2020 by Governor Philip D. Murphy, the Planning Board of the City of Paterson will not conduct in-person participation of the public at all future meetings until further notice. However, public participation will be available by means of communication equipment pursuant to NJSA 10:4-8 commencing on April 15, 2020. Though there may potentially be a practical need for a limited number of administrative, technical, or other city personnel to be present in or near the City Council Chambers, 3rd floor, City Hall, 155 Market Street, Paterson, New Jersey, in-person participation of the public is prohibited. Nevertheless, for reasons of compliance with the said Executive Order Number 107, public participation will be available by calling 973-321-1579, and the meeting ID is 711-680-001. And I will repeat that later on in the meeting, on the date and time that the meeting is scheduled to commence. The public may also participate in the meeting by accessing the website of the City of Paterson, www.patersonnj.gov, and following the email link for the meeting, www.patersonnj.gov/planning board. Okay, this evening, there will be regular scheduled meeting, that's what this is this evening, and at 6:30, hopefully we'll begin with the Presidential Properties LLC.
I'd like to begin with 8688 Broadway.
Okay, all right, we can do that, no problem. Okay, so 86-88 Broadway LLC. block 4402, lot 2. The applicant proposes to convert the existing second and third floors of a 3-story building from office use to residential use. The first floor shall remain as commercial uses. The second and third floors each propose two-bedroom units for a total of 4 two-bedroom units. The building is located 41 feet east of the southeast corner of Washington Street and Broadway. The parcel has total area of 3,680 square feet. A parking variance is requested as 8 off-street parking spaces are required and 0 are proposed. This proposal is located within the downtown commercial historic district overlay of the B4 Downtown Central Business District, and it requires site plan approval and bulk variances. And, did I just hear someone join us? No. Okay. Sorry. All right, so, I'm gonna ask, Mr. Deutsch to, first of all, Mr. Maricondo, are you representing this, applicant?
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. Alan Maricondo on behalf of 8688 Broadway.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Deutsch, will you give us your review?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Property taxes and sewer charges are paid today. Persons having a 10% or more ownership interest in 8688 Broadway Llc are approved, providing an address of 86-88 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey. Thomas Stearns III, surveyor, has prepared a location survey dated April 15, 2020. As indicated on the survey, the building is 3 stories and is built along 3 of the 4 property lines. There is an approximate 5-foot rear yard setback. The building is located on the south side of Broadway, 41.36 feet east of the intersection of Broadway and Washington Street. Also is fronted to 46.46 feet on Broadway, a rear lot line that measures 47.51 feet, a western side lot line that measures 80.07 feet, and an eastern side lot line that measures 80.43 feet. Also total area of 3,770 square feet for 0.087 acres. Permit use architect has prepared a 4-page site plan dated March 5th, 2020. The cover sheet indicates the site location map, the zoning table, photos, and notes. Sheet number 1 of 3 indicates the second and third floor demolition plans. The previous use for the second and third floors was offices. Sheet number 2 of 3 indicates the second floor existing and proposed floor plan layouts. The existing floor plan for the second floor indicates 9 offices, closets, bathrooms, hallways, and staircases. The existing stairway access from the first floor to the upper floors will remain unchanged. First floor commercial spaces will remain unchanged. The proposed second floor indicates that Unit A is a 2-bedroom unit located at the Broadway front of the building and includes a living room and dining room, a kitchen, a half bathroom, and a full bathroom. Unit B is the back unit and is also a 2-bedroom unit and also indicates a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, a full bathroom, and a half bathroom. A common laundry room is located off to the common second floor hallway. Sheet number 3 of 3 indicates the existing third floor plan and the proposed third floor plan. The existing third floor plan indicates a main room, 3 offices, closet space, and restrooms. The proposed third floor indicates that Unit C is a 2-bedroom unit located overlooking Broadway and includes a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, a full bathroom, and a half bathroom. Unit D is a 2-bedroom unit located at the rear of the building and includes a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, a full bathroom, and a half bathroom. The Downtown Central Historic District is an overlay zone within the B4 zone. Paterson Master Plan encourages and the zoning ordinance has been amended to reflect that residential units are a permitted use in the B4 zone of the city. Any alteration to the exterior of the building requires approval from the Paterson Division of Historic Preservation prior to final planning board approval. A parking variance is requested. Each 2-bedroom unit requires 2 parking spaces. As no off-street parking spaces exist, a parking variance for 8 parking spaces is requested. Paterson Parking Authority is able to provide off-street parking in both surface lots and parking decks to apartment renters and owners residing within the Central Business District. An open space variance is requested. Each two-bedroom unit requires 250 square feet of open space and 0 is provided on site. However, each of the two-bedroom units exceed the minimum 900 square feet of area required. Unit A contains 1,206 square feet, Unit B contains 1,000 square feet, Unit C contains 1,153 square feet, and Unit D contains 1,136 square feet. Prior to final approval, the applicant will provide or obtain a certificate of occupancy for the first floor commercial spaces of the building. The residential unit should not become occupied until a certificate of occupancy for the building is obtained from the City of Paterson zoning officer. Any proposed sign shall be in conformance with section 500-8 of the Land Development Ordinance. The applicant advises that the hours of operation for the two retail spaces on the first floor are 10 o'clock a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. Prior to final approval, the applicant shall obtain city engineering approval. Surrounding land uses. This proposal is in the central business district of the city, near the public safety complex. The building was most likely constructed after the Paterson fire of the early 1900s. The surrounding neighborhood is composed of many older buildings first built as commercial structures with commercial uses on the first floor and offices and/or retail above. There's evidence that some buildings in the area have existing residential uses on the upper floors. Although the first floor uses are still commercial, many of the upper floors are now used for storage or are vacant. The Paterson Master Plan encourages the effective reuse of the upper floors of buildings in the central business district for urban residential living in order to create a more active 24-hour downtown and additional economic and commercial activities as a result. In conclusion, the applicant estimates the cost of this proposal at approximately $200,000. That is your staff review for this proposal, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you very much. It's my understanding that Mark Fisher is signing on, but I don't see him. Commissioner Fisher, are you there? Commissioner Fisher? Okay. I don't see Commissioner Fisher. We'll just proceed from here. Mr. Maricondo?
Yes, thank you again, Madam Chair, and again, good evening, Commissioners. Al Maricondo, my office at 726 Market Street in Paterson. On behalf of the applicant here this evening, 8688 Broadway Llc, we believe that Mr. Deutsch has accurately described this application. Just by way of brief background in terms of my client's ownership and usage of the site, this is a property which he has acquired and actively used as his primary business for approximately 20 years. So he operates the electronics store with a valid certificate of occupancy, which we know is a condition prior to the seeking of building permits for the nail salon, which also has been actively engaged there serving the business community and the residents of the area for about 25 years. So this is a very stable building in terms of its commercial uses, and the applicant, as per Mr. Deutsch's report, has found that many of the upper levels in the downtown district that were commonly used for office space or storage for the lower level businesses have become vacant or dormant in essence. So this is, I think, a very encouraging continuation of the pattern that we have been seeing, where these upper levels are being adaptively reused to create needed residential space upstairs, which is upper level, which is really the trend and the point that the master plan and the zoning ordinance is encouraging. This is a continuation. This is not as big a project as some of the other residential conversions. Nonetheless, this is a very stable building which has been there for many years, and we want to substantially upgrade it and provide new housing. And of course, we will comply with whatever needs are required with our good relationship with the Paterson Parking Authority, which is really directly adjacent to us on both sides of near the Broadway intersections as we move around Church Street and Ellison and so forth. So there's available parking as required, and the applicant will cooperate in that regard. I would also point out that There is full bus transportation on Broadway, as we all know. So residents that would live here would have easy access to travel in and out of Paterson for their work, for their recreation, what have you. And of course, there are parks in the downtown district that are
Okay.
close to the historic park.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, I just want to make mention that Mark Fisher has been on now for about the past 2 minutes, I see his name. I just texted him and he's on, so, please, make a record of that Commissioner Fisher is now in attendance, thank you. Alright, I'm sorry, Mr. Maricondo, please continue.
Close proximity, so we believe we can satisfy the transportation needs of these residents, as have many of the other bigger projects that have come before you recently in the downtown business district. So that summarizes the background of the project from our perspective. I'll have the architect will come forward, Mr. Kermit Hughes, to testify shortly. We have been working with our process with the Historic Commission, and we have no problem working with them as far as the design. And our expectation is that that will be finalized, and of course, that would be a condition of any resolution of approval as well. So that being said, I'm going to call Mr. Kermit Hughes at this time.
Yes, and how many other witnesses do you have this evening on this
Just the
application? Just the applicant, okay, thank you. Yes, so Mr. Hughes, please raise your hand.
You swear upon testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your full name for the record.
Kermit James Hughes.
Mr. Hughes, would you give us the benefit of your professional background in licensing?
I am licensed as an architect in the state of New Jersey and in the state of Florida since about 2005.
You've appeared before this board on several occasions, I believe, is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes, okay, we recognize him as an expert witness, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hughes, obviously you've had the benefit of hearing Mr. Deutsch's detailed report. Could you explain to us just in terms of your own overview how the building's going to be redesigned for the proposed use, okay?
Okay, so our plan is to do as little demolition on the inside as possible, removing just, are we able to share?
Oh, yes, you must share, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I was just about to ask you, can you please put up your plans, thank you.
All right. Okay, can they be seen?
I can see them.
Okay. Okay. Full screen. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, we can see it.
Alright. I'm trying to get to our okay, so this is our existing second and third floors. Second floor over here, third floor over here. We'll be working only on those second and third floors. The ground floor will remain as is. Where you see the dashed lines, those are areas where we are removing walls or removing doors here, removing a wall here. The exterior, we're keeping just as it is, so our work will be on the inside, except on the back. This is the alley side, and where we have some windows that access the fire escape, we're going to turn those windows into doors. So this is the second floor existing layout. You come up these stairs down, this is Broadway down here. You come up these stairs and into the various offices. That's what happens right now. We are planning to take the front portion, which is the dark shaded portion, and that will be the front unit, and then on the white portion, back section, will be the light shade. Where you see the hatching here and here, those are our exits for in case of fire. We will be having a 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. We tried to distribute it as evenly as possible, but the units will range from 1,000 feet to 1,200 square feet. And the 3rd floor is similar. Where this was the 3rd floor originally, one large room. You came up the stairs here from that 2nd floor, office, and HVAC. We're going to try to hang on to as much of that HVAC as possible. And again, we're putting front unit in the darker shade. That will be 1 unit. And then the white shade would be the rear unit, with this being an access so that the front unit has a second way out, and the rear unit also has a second way out.
What will we be doing with regard to the exterior of the building, Mr. Hughes?
The goal is to minimize touching that street side at all. Where we were before with windows back here, so we wanted to turn that one into a door so that it's easier access to that fire escape. There's also a fire escape over here off of this bedroom, and all the windows along that way will be wide enough for egress. There is, as was mentioned earlier, 1 variance requested because the building runs pretty much property line to property line. So the parking really couldn't do anything with that. But there are 2 parking garages nearby, one just a block away, and then another that's maybe 3 to 4 blocks away. And then there's some street parking.
Right, we talked about public transportation as well on Broadway, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, and you're working with the historic district in terms of maintaining the exterior and in full compliance with the district requirements?
Correct. They were concerned about the Broadway side, and we have been able to work this so that we don't mess with the windows on the Broadway side at all. Only on the alley side, and even those, we're just turning 1 window into a door.
So with your work and dialogue with the Historic District Commission, you've been able to satisfy them regarding compliance and adherence to the historic requirements?
Yes.
Very good.
I seem happy with what I did.
Okay, very good. Anything else you wish to add?
That's it.
Okay, sounds good. That would conclude Mr. Hughes' testimony. Of course, subject to any questions by staff or commissioners and public.
I would like to have you call the owner,
Sure.
and this way then I'll just open it up to the public after that. Thank you.
Very good. Mr. Ahmed Al-Kurdi?
Please raise your right hand.
Do you have your voice on, Ahmed?
I see him, but I can't hear him, and
Ahmed, do you hear us?
I don't think he does.
Madam Chair, I can reach out to him.
Yep, we're gonna give it 1 minute, 2 minutes, while Mr. Maricondo tries to reach his client.
Can I call on? Because nobody can hear you. Can you hear us? Nobody can hear you. Can you hear us? You have to, what's the problem? I mean, is the computer working, or if we can see you, can you hear the testimony yet so far or not yet? Good, okay. Do you have anyone with you that, pardon me? I don't know anything about that. Madam Chair, can you hear anyone? I can't hear anything.
Well, I can't hear Ahmed. I can, Mr. Maraconda, is he not able to communicate?
I have him on my phone via speaker, so I think we can accomplish it that way.
We can't. No, we can't do that because he has to be seen to raise his right hand, so we're gonna have to move on without him.
No, he is seen. We're just trying to get his sound on.
Alright, well, where is he? I see
He
him
doesn't
here.
have a mic, he doesn't have a mic next to participants, so he doesn't have any mic.
I have him on my speaker on my cell phone. Is that okay?
No, I don't think so. We're gonna have to move
He's visible.
It may also give a feedback.
your client, participating in the communicating
Okay,
portion.
understood.
Alright, so I'm gonna open this up, to the public. If anyone in the public has any questions, okay, of the architect, it's for questions only, please call in at 973-321-1579, and the meeting ID number is 711.
I think I hear him now.
Now I can hear.
Oh, then, okay, alright, then please, but I also hear some background noise, so if anybody's got anything on, turn it off, everybody mute themselves, because I do hear some static. Go ahead, Mr. Maraconda.
Thank you again. I apologize for the inconvenience there. Okay, Mr. Ahmed, you heard all the testimony.
Yes.
Mr.
I have to
Chief
swear him
testified.
in.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay,
Please raise your right hand.
yes, I do.
You swear affirm the testimony you're about
Thank
to
you,
your
Mr.
full name for
Ahmed.
the record.
I'm sorry?
For him to state his full name for the record, please.
My first name is Ahmed Al-Kurdi.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Ahmed, you are the owner of 8688 Broadway Llc, is that correct?
Yes,
And you agree with all the testimony that has been offered on your behalf by Mr. Hughes and myself, is that right?
yes,
Okay, and you have operated your business there, during the time of your ownership over 20 years, is that right?
yes,
And your businesses along with the nail salon will remain on the first floor to create residential apartments up there?
yes,
And you have had many people ask you about that possibility, as far as the need for residential apartments, is that right?
of course, yes,
Yes. And you have not been able to rent it for commercial space?
yes, that's correct.
Okay. So in summary, then you're ready to proceed and you agree with the whole testimony this evening?
Yes,
Thank you very much.
okay.
Okay, so then at this time, I'm gonna open it up to the public for questions of the owner or the architect. Mr. Hughes, the architect and the owner, and, you can call in at 973-321-1579, and the meeting ID number is 711-680-001. I'll allow 2 minutes for call-ins and 3 minutes for questions, and then I will open it up to the, commissioners. Okay? Mr. Deutsch? Do you hear or see?
We have no
any-
callers as of yet, but we're going to give it another moment.
Okay, just let me know when that moment might be up.
We have no callers, Madam Chairwoman.
Okay, good. So commissioners, I'm opening up questions to the commissioners of either witness. Commissioners?
Yes, the Commissioner Ceballos.
Yes, Commissioner Ceballos, go ahead, please.
Okay, the question is to the owner. We say that the business of the retail space is open from 10 to 7. How many days?
6 days, one of them is 7 days.
Thank you. And also to the architect. With the conversion, there is going to be the need to follow the fire code as per the state, or we want to use only simple alarms for the.
Yeah, I would think that we would, need to follow the, rehab code, and with change of use, there are several things that are gonna need to be done. I started off, trying to address that with, making sure we have the 2 ways out, but with that change of use, we're probably gonna have to sprinkle also.
Commissioner, if I may, Alan Arcando, we would be, Mr. Hughes is correct, and that we will need to comply with all Paterson building and fire codes, but also bear in mind the creation will have overlapping jurisdiction with respect to all code and safety and fire requirements, which serves as a double compliance method in terms of ensuring safety on the site.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Cevallos, Commissioner Cevallos, anything else?
No, thank you, man.
Okay. Anyone else? I have a question. I know this is a mixed-use building, and so usually there's no parking, obviously, in the downtown area, and I get that. Did you make any arrangement with the parking authority, to allow people to park there, or how is that gonna work?
Right, we're trying to follow the pattern that we have developed over the last several months, Madam Chair. We've spoken to Mr. Perez. He's indicated clearly he would be available to provide parking to a park. We would anticipate working closely with Mr. Perez to make any formal arrangements should they be required for the tenants.
Okay, all right, commissioners?
Madam Chair,
Yes?
I just have a question for Mike.
Yes, Mr. Aguilar?
Mike, so are we going to require anything from the parking authority as a condition of approval if a motion is made, or we're just going to leave it that the parking authority is going to provide parking to the residents of the building?
We're gonna
8.
eight parking spaces that are required. I think we can leave it, between the unit renters, the building owner, and the parking authority.
Okay, so no need to make it part of a resolution?
No, they're asking for a variance, and unless the board wants to make a recommendation for the resolution, that's up to the board. I'm open to hearing the board's suggestion on the 8-space variance.
Thank you, Mike.
If I may, Mr.
Yes, Mr. Aguilar?
I would have no problem if the resolution incorporates similar language to what we've included over the last several months in the downtown business district, which said the applicant agrees to work in good faith with the parking authority to be mutually agreed upon. I think that's the way we've been incorporating it.
Okay.
I agree. All right, commissioners?
Chairman, this is Commissioner Dean.
Yes. Commissioner Dean, please.
So just for clarification that, so if, for example, the tenants get parking spaces in parking lots, are they going to pay their own, parking cost, or it will be covered with the rent?
Well, that's something that we've discussed over the last couple of years, and I think we've come to an understanding, even in the bigger buildings, that is something that should be best left to the agreement between landlord and tenant in terms of varying the cost of saying, and again, working with the parking authority hand in hand. So I don't think any final determination of that could be stated at this point, most respectfully.
That answered the question, my question, I said, but just saying that if arrangement is made that, if we can just add that on the application that we are going to have certain space.
Or I should say, from the applicant and the tenant as part of the monthly rent, or some other arrangement. But I think the representation being made is that they will work diligently to obtain 8 spaces or however many spaces are needed for the tenants, based upon the fact that there are plenty of spaces available in that particular lot, which is almost right across the street from where this project is.
Right.
I also want to state that I think Tony Perez works very diligently with the city of Paterson and our projects and everything else. I think he gives a break, to the landlords. He doesn't, in other words, they're not, Commissioner Dudeen, this is to the best of my knowledge, the tenants aren't going in there and paying like everybody else in the city of Paterson who goes in and just pulls into the garage. They negotiate a rate, usually, that's what happens. Am I not correct in saying that, Mr. Maricondo?
Madam Chair, you're correct. He worked on a very favorable arrangement on a discount basis on a monthly cycle.
With the needing to do, then yeah, we can make sure.
Segregated in a separate container. So, do you have a spot on the plan where you think that could be handled and where garbage could conveniently be brought out to the curb for municipal pickup?
Okay. On the front side, difficult. On the back side, we do have a little bit of space actually outside. Let me.
We would certainly submit the revised plans, Madam Chair, with a condition which reflected the ability to handle the garbage storage and remove to the curb. But it can't be accomplished with you, in your opinion?
Yes, I think yes.
Okay.
All right, well, we can make that as a matter of condition,
Okay, great.
that it has to be done that way, okay. Commissioner Figueroa, anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on the permit issue. I personally live in a building where I pay permit, and it is a reduced fee, and it's always worked out. Director Perez is very good in working out with residents.
Yeah.
Not gonna be an issue. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, anyone else? Commissioners? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna ask, Mr. Maricondo to please sum up.
The testimony here, we have, I think, a very clear, concise application in terms of the ability to use these upstairs floors that have been in many smaller and larger buildings in the city. And as the board has seen, this is a very positive trend that's occurring downtown. This building now can be brought back to full use by means of the adaptive reuse of this building to create residential use. And of course, as Mr. Deutsch alluded to with regard to the zoning ordinance, this is a clear goal now in the B4 and in the downtown historic business district, because this is a way that the downtown district stays alive at night. It becomes more vibrant for both the residents who have easy access to public transportation. We think a win-win for the city and all the surrounding business owners, and we ask the board consideration for a motion for approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, would any commissioner like to make a motion on this application?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Ceballos.
yes, on the application of 8688 Broadway LLC, 88 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey 07505, property located at East 8688 Broadway, Black 4402, Lot 2. I move that the board attorney prepare a resolution granting site plan approval, Paul Martins, city engineer, Paterson Division Historic Preservation, and also the, I guess, show a location for the garbage and recycling.
Yes, and also to make sure that there is discussion with the landlord and the parking authority, Mr. Perez, and the tenants to negotiate a deal for parking should there be a need for that.
That would be that would be the conditions to be considered the board's early convenience.
Yes, thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Commissioner-
This is.
Yes, Commissioner Figueroa? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Ahmed?
Yes.
Commissioner Brook?
Yes.
Commissioner Ceballos?
Yes,
Commissioner Figueroa?
Yes.
Commissioner Isano? Commissioner Isa?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Santana? Vice Chairman Fisher?
Yeah.
And Chairwoman Northrop?
Yes, congratulations.
We thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and that means, okay, so, we can proceed. Anyone who's not involved in the second application can sign off. And, I'll ask Mr. Mariconda, is everyone here for you're representing the next application?
Yes, we have, our expert and the applicant, two witnesses.
Two people, okay, all right, so we're gonna go on to the second application. Okay, it's Presidential Properties LLC, partial street vacation of a portion of Stout Street, beginning at a point formed by the intersection of the southeasterly street line of Holzman Street, 50 feet wide, with the southwesterly street line of Stout Street, 50 feet wide. Thence from said point of the northwesterly street line of Holzman Street, 57.04 feet to the point thence, north 36 degree, 35 minutes and 52 seconds, still along said street line of Holzman Street, 8.27 feet to a point, thence south 35 degree, 40 minutes, 00 second, east, 186.51 feet to a point on the northwesterly street line of Presidential Boulevard, thence south 56 degrees, 13 minutes and 00 seconds west along said street line of Presidential Boulevard, 50.03 feet to a point thence, okay, north 35 degrees, 40 minutes and 00 seconds, west 143.88 feet to the point or place of beginning. Area to be vacated contains 8,358 square feet. The applicant requests that the planning board recommend to the city council the street approved municipal roadway. The parcel in question contains approximately 8,358 square feet, is located south of block 217, lots 1 and 10, and north of block 216, lot 4. And it requires recommendation to the Paterson City Council. So at this time, Mr. Honda, you are representing this applicant.
We do represent the applicant on behalf of Presidential Properties, Al Mariconda.
Okay, good. Mr. Deutsch, may we have your review, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairwoman. As part of the application, Alan J. Americana, appointed attorney for Presidential Properties LLC, requests approval for a street closure on a section of Stout Street bordering property known as 22-24 Holman Street, 257-259 Presidential Boulevard, and 14-20 Holzman Street. 14-20 Holzman Street is owned by Red Apple Realty, and 22-24 Holzman Street and 257-259 Presidential Boulevard is owned by Presidential Properties. The applicant has provided two plans. The first is a property survey dated May 20th, 2019, and prepared by Christopher J. Hanselman, licensed surveyor. The property survey indicates block 216, lots 2, 3, and 4. The combined area of the lots is 10,547 square feet. Notes on the survey indicate that the lots have structures on them, including a one-story masonry building, a wood canopy, a rolling metal gate, a metal canopy, a masonry curtain wall, and shelving for parts and storage. The lots have frontage of 34.46 feet and 134.78 feet along Holzman Street, 143.88 feet along South Street, and 109.62 feet along Presidential Boulevard, and a rear lot line of 38.63 feet. A plan entitled Survey for Road Vacation of South Street is September 9, 2019, has been prepared by Christopher J. Hanselman, licensed surveyor. The plan indicates that the street vacation is to encompass an area of 8,358 square feet between Holtzman Street to the north, Presidential Boulevard to the south, Block 216 Lot 4 to the west, and Block 217 Lots 1 and 10 to the east. A description of the property to be vacated as appears on the above-mentioned survey for road vacation of South Street dated September 9, 2019, and prepared by Christopher J. Minnesota License Surveyor reads, beginning at a point formed by the intersection of the southeasterly street line of Holtzman Street with the southwesterly street line of South Street, thence from said point of beginning north 11 degrees 55 minutes and 30 seconds east, along said northwesterly street line 5 minutes and 52 seconds, still along said street line Holtzman Street 8.27 feet to a point, then south 35 degrees 40 minutes 0 seconds east, 186.51 feet to a point on the northwesterly street line at Presidential Boulevard, then south 56 degrees 13 minutes and 0 seconds west along said street line at Presidential Boulevard, 50.03 feet to a point, thence north 35 degrees 40 minutes and 0 seconds west, 143.88 feet to the point or place of beginning. Area to be vacated contains 8,358 square feet. According to the Paterson assessment records, the applicant Presidential Properties are the owners of Block 217, Lots 1 and 10, located on the eastern side of South Street, and Untitled Realty LLC are the owners of Block 216, Lots 2, 3, and 4 on the western side of South Street. If this street vacation is looked upon favorably by the Paterson City Council, the applicant's attorney will be responsible for preparing the deeds necessary to vacate the street to all entities. Further, the applicant's attorney shall be responsible for preparing a street vacation ordinance that is acceptable to the Paterson Corporation Council. The street vacation ordinance shall be submitted with all of the materials at the time that application is presented to either the Council's Public Works Committee or the Council's Economic Development Committee for review prior to submission to the full City Council for the street vacation action. The plans have been sent to the city engineer, Mr. Fred Margon, for review and comment. In a memorandum dated March 15, 2021, the city engineer states that there is a city combined sewer in the affected portion of South Street and that an easement for the city's sewer along with any other affected utilities would have to be provided. In an email dated March 5th, 2021 from City Traffic Engineer Hung Chao Yu, Mr. Yu advises that upon reviewing the provided documentation and having visited the site, has no objections or concerns for the proposed street vacation, which does not have major impacts on the traffic safety and circulation in the vicinity. Should it be determined that additional easements are required over sanitary and stormwater piping systems, manholes, outflow chambers, and any other pertinent facilities located within the proposed portion of South Street to be vacated, the plan shall be revised to indicate same prior to any final approval. The applicant shall verify that they have contacted utilities and other public companies that may have infrastructure improvements either above or below this section of South Street. Surrounding land uses. This parcel is located in the Riverview section of the city. The southern side of Presidential Boulevard and some of the parcels on the northern side of Presidential Boulevard have had vehicular-related uses attached to them for many decades, including auto salvage, auto dismantling, auto body and auto repair, auto storage, and junkyard. If the city wishes to reclaim this area for other uses in the future, it will most likely have to be through property donation, property sale, or eminent domain. Residential areas are located north of Holtzman Street. That's your staff review for this proposal, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. Mr. Maricondo?
Yes, thank you again, Madam Chair. As I indicated, I'll be calling the two witnesses, our land surveyor, which prepared the street vacant report in all respects, but before I cover some of those items directly, I'll just indicate that This is, of course, a request for a recommendation to the city council for this portion of South Street between Holzman and Presidential Boulevard. The street has really not been actively utilized for over 40 years for public traffic, as only my client's auto dismantling facility is actively utilizing and functioning on the one side of the street. The parcel across the street was utilized for automotive uses many years ago, but is also inactive. We do occupy several lots. We've been the party essentially, which he will confirm, and he intends to do so because he understands that a street vacate places that responsibility on him, not the city of Paterson going forward. My client's business does employ many Paterson residents, and obviously the exclusive access to this area of South Street will allow him to function more smoothly and more effectively, and therefore obviously stay in business and continue to employ Paterson residents. I would also indicate specifically as to Mr. Deutsch's report that we are also the owner of Red Apple Realty, which he alluded to in his background, a section of his first page of his report. So the representative who's here this evening, so he'll be our witness in that regard as well. Again, we'll be presenting the street vacate, but we also will be agreeing to what Mr. Deutsch laid out. His report was from Fred Margon with regard to the city combined sewer and the affected portion, and of course the continuing easement that would be required for the city sewer among those and any other affected utilities will be part and parcel to any ordinance proposed to the Corporation Council for signature by the City Council. So, and we've also, as per Mr. Deutsch's report, notified all the necessary vacate applications. We keep this on an open basis so that as we move forward, we work with the public utility companies, Passaic Valley Water, PSE&G, so that as we move closer and hopefully farther along, if there's any letters that we receive after the meeting, we obviously work with them and we continue to comply with whatever their needs are to allow for them to function smoothly while we continue with the street vacate. This is obviously an area which my client has made a major commitment to in terms of his business, and he wants to continue really what he's been doing as a practical matter because he's really challenged, to be very honest with you. He'll testify to that. So at this point, again, I think commissioners know the area. I think they know the nature of the businesses that are there, and we're just looking to make this function smoother for all concerned. So at this point, I would like to call the representative from our surveying company, which is Lantelmi, Curins, and Associates.
Would that be Mr. McKell?
Yes.
McClellan? Yeah, okay. All right, please raise your right hand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Say your full name for the record.
Sean McClellan, McClellan.
Thank you, Mr. McClellan. Could you just state for the record your professional background in this regard?
Sure. I graduated from NJIT in 1997. I've been a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey since 2004. I've testified at many boards throughout Bergen, Morris, Passaic, and Essex County. However, I've never been in front of Paterson before.
Okay. Well, we accept you as an expert witness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sean. Again, Sean, I know you've had an opportunity to review Mr. Deutsch's report and, of course, my opening comments. This type of testimony is pretty straightforward because basically you're just telling the board the area that is encompassed by the proposed vacate, which, by the way, is located in a redevelopment zone, and that's essentially where we are. So we're going to look.
Can I share?
Sure.
Let's see.
Yes, please.
So here's the survey we did of block 216, lots 2, 3, and 4. As was outlined in the report, we have a one-story masonry building, and wood canopy, metal canopy, and curtain wall, and around the property. Let me just scroll out a little bit, and then here is here's the intersection of Presidential Boulevard and Stout Creek. And bring up one more. So this is this survey I was showing before. Here's the northern end of block 216, lot 4, same metal canopy. And here is the portion of Stouts Creek that we're looking to vacate. And just to go around, as you read the description before, just across Holtzman, back down Stout Creek, back across Presidential, and then along Stout Creek. And that area is 8,358 square feet. And then on the northern end, we have block 217, lots 1 and lots 10. So this here, let me just zoom out a little bit. This red outline is the area we're looking to vacate.
And that's clearly encompasses the access area to our client's property?
Correct.
All right. And Madam Chair, that's essentially what the professional witness offers in this type of case. We don't see any hardship created by it, but obviously there's additional testimony of the applicant to follow. If anyone has any questions of Mr. McClellan, we're ready.
I just, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go back out and come back in. Sorry, just delay a minute here. Okay, I think, no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go back out. There's too much echoing. I'm completely out of here. Alright, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good, then okay, this is good, alright. Alright, so I did hear you, Mr. Mariconda, that this is the testimony that usually is given on this type of vacating of the street, am I correct? Of Stout
That is
Street?
correct. Unless Mr. McClellan has anything else he wishes to add, but I think we're complete.
Okay,
That's it.
okay, great, so then do you wanna call Mr. Hamilton?
Sure. Brian?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please raise your hand.
Do you swear affirm testimony about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Say your full name for the record.
Ryan Charles Hamilton?
Okay. Ryan, you are one of the principals of Presidential Properties LLC, is that correct?
Yes.
And your entities also own the property that was referred to in Mr. Deutsch's report known as Red Apple Realty, right?
Yes. Yeah, both sides of South Street.
Right. Okay, give us just a quick background as to when you guys acquired the property and how long you've been operating your business there.
We purchased the property, Red Apple Realty, about 3 years ago. Converted it to, we do mostly internet salvage, a specialty salvage business. We have a small masonry building that we use on the one side, and we've been trying to expand. So, over the course of 2 years, we've been struggling, and we ended up purchasing both the lots on the opposite side of the street. The Holzman lot and the Presidential Properties, or Presidential Boulevard, 257, 259, on the Presidential Boulevard side.
Okay, and for the record, you provided me with your CO from the city of Paterson regarding these properties as well, which goes back a couple of years, correct?
Yes.
And that's junkyard salvage the site?
Yeah, we're licensed through the city of Paterson with a salvage license.
Right. And you've been functioning, and the purpose of the street vacate application, I just want to go a little bit back into the background. Since you've been there, how has this area been used that we're proposing to vacate?
How has the street been used?
Yes.
The street's just a pure dumping site, that's all it is. It's, since presidential, has been changed to a one-way, it's turned into a dangerous street, because people come down and make a right-hand turn the wrong way, and at nighttime, when it was dark, before we put our own lights up, usually once or twice a week, we picked up, household garbage that was dumped in the street at night, and we've been doing it for, 3 years.
So essentially, as I indicated in my opening, you've been the de facto manager of this street since it was no longer a through street. Is that a good description?
Yeah, I've spent over $5,000 in, I consider it part of business, because we work here on a daily basis, so I just don't really approve of giant piles of garbage sitting in front of my door.
Right, and you employ Paterson residents, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you would, the street vacate would allow you to have what I would call unfettered or undisturbed access to your site without the continuing quality of life problems that you just talked about?
Yes.
Okay. And that's why you're seeking this approval?
Yeah.
And any, I know there's someone else, one of the surrounding property owners apparently is available for appearance on the virtual hearing. Do you, in your opinion, is there any impact on any other active business on this area that we're looking to vacate?
You vacate a street and you have a private person that is going to, do they have to buy the street from the city, or once it's vacated, what happens to it? It automatically goes to this person that's asking for the vacate? How does that work?
It's a very good question. I know we don't see it all the time. This is the application process that we go through with the planning board reviewing it, making a recommendation, and then the governing body, of course, has to decide if it's in the public interest to vacate the street. And so that's why we've laid out our arguments and our plans that this is really not an operable public street. And in fact, the designation or allocation of this former public property owner makes sense from an economic point of view and a safety point of view. So that's why we're before you and the council. And then the applicant, if it's approved by both of those bodies, assumes full 100% obligation to maintain and ensure that this area is used in a safe manner. And of course, also, as we talked about, work hand in hand with the city engineer and any other city department, such as Public Works, that may need access for any public purpose, even though the vacate is granted. And we are already committed to handle that with regard to easements for sewer utilities and any other public utility that needs access to the site. So it's kind of a working partnership. Partner, if you will.
So what you're actually saying is that the private person that's asking for the vacate is actually going to acquire that property for nothing from the city, right?
There will be no purchase price, that's correct. No, this is.
And no purchase price, so they actually acquired for free. What happens now, I don't care who answers this question, what happens, isn't that in a flood area?
Mr. Ryan.
So what happens, okay, all right. What happens with snow removal, flooding? I happen to know that area, and I'm just kind of curious as to who's gonna be responsible for all that? Now, the city, if they vacate that property now, the people on Holzman and the owners on Stout, it's only a few, cause I know that street. There's only a couple of houses that's there, and on Holzman Street, I think there's more. But my concern is, if you vacate this property, who's gonna, in order for them people to get to where they have, to their homes and where they have to go, who's gonna be responsible for snow removal, for flooding, who's gonna be responsible for all that? The applicant, is it? Let me know, I just wanna know.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely, 100%. It will be the applicant's responsibility to handle all functions that the municipality would otherwise have been required to meet in the past. And Mr. Hamilton has talked about the fact that he's kind of assumed a lot of those responsibilities already, but it completely alleviates the municipality from that responsibility. I'll defer to Mr. Acquaviva if his thoughts are different.
Well, I don't know what Mr. Activitas, I mean, you already explained to me, I just didn't understand that they.
I think he would agree.
You said what?
I think he would agree, I just wanted to see if he concurs.
Yeah, well, adequately explained it, so,
Yeah, I think you just explained it to me, because I think well, okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other commissioners have any questions?
Chairwoman, this is Commissioner Dean.
Go ahead.
And my question to our board attorney, Mr. Acquaviva, just for understanding that if we approve, for example, then is it going to the city council, the application?
well, it's a good question. I was actually gonna summarize after all of the commissioners are done. Basically, if there's an approval tonight, what it is it's a recommendation to the city council that the street be vacated, and then the specifics and the finality of it all would be before the city council. So if a motion is made tonight, it's not a motion to approve, it's a motion to refer the matter to the city council, for review. But this is the first step in any street vacation.
But they can deny it if they want to.
Yeah, or they can deny it, they can get very specific, or a lot more specific in terms of conditions if they were to approve it, or just approve it as it is being submitted. But all of those decisions are made at the city council level. The board's role is just to either recommend it to the city council for an approval, or to not recommend it to the city council for an approval.
Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Acquaviva.
You're welcome.
Commissioners?
Yeah, so this is, I'm just.
Commissioner Figueroa?
Yeah, I just.
Yes, go ahead.
Again about the process, so we're pretty much, because I'm not familiar with this, and I'll be the first, I'm glad, Commissioner Brooks brought it up, because so the process is this entity, the two companies are acquiring the streets, certain areas, so that they could, have a better access to and from their business. I'm just trying to get.
Yeah, Commissioner, basically the board acts as essentially a referring entity tonight. We refer it to the city council, or choose not to refer it to the city council. But if the board refers the street vacation, or I should say recommends the street vacation to the city council, the next step in the real work is done at the city council level. So basically at that point, the applicant would go through a much more in-depth application process before the city council were to take a vote and approve or deny the street vacation. So basically the board's role is just to either recommend it to the city council or not recommend it to the city council based on the testimony tonight.
All right, they'll go through all those dynamics and stuff. Okay, thank you.
And I have a question. The applicant currently is the person, the owner, the applicant is currently cleaning the street?
Yes,
and it's turned into a dumping ground, and he's cleaning the street.
absolutely.
I think she froze.
Madam Chairwoman, I believe you
Yeah.
froze.
Yeah, I think we lost her.
She'll log off and log back on.
Oh boy.
Commissioners, I just spoke with the chairwoman, she's having, and it looks like there's an internet problem from her location, so she's trying to get back on. But, in the meantime, if she doesn't, she requests that we just continue with the meeting. So, in that regard, are there any other commissioners who have any, questions of the applicant at this point?
I have one more question of the applicant.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
So, is the property, I saw the diagram, the streetscape. Does traffic go through, so, like, does traffic go through the one-way street and goes into Hoseman? How does that work? Is it, I know it's a one-way, but does it go into Hoseman? It goes to residential. Right, so if they vacate this property now, this becomes your property, you're still gonna allow people to go through that area in order to get to residential? Or no? Would it be blocked and they would have to come around? No, is that right?
No, yeah, they'd have to come to the corner, the other corner of the building, which only drops on Presidential the correct direction.
Okay, so, all right, so that means that they wouldn't be able to come through, Stout. They would have to go up to the corner of Hoseman and Presidential.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, are you back?
I hope so.
Okay.
All right, I don't know what's going on anyway. Yeah, so again, this is, any other questions from any other commissioners?
This
Alright, so-
question,
Yes, Commissioner Udine, go ahead.
Yeah, this question again to Mr. Kubiga. So Mr. Kubiga, so for example, maybe other residents or someone else need easement or access to this street. Like, so this condition will come to the city council or from us?
Yeah, I mean, basically, at this point, this is, I don't wanna say preliminary, because it's a step above preliminary.
Right.
But if the referral is made to the city council, then any interested party, anybody in the entire city for that matter, can voice their concerns or voice their questions at the city council meeting. Just like there's public notice, basically. So anybody can voice their opinion or have any questions, at that time as well. So again, I don't want to be redundant, but basically the board's role here is just to essentially recommend it to the city council for further hearings, or not recommend it to the city council for further hearings. A lot more detail will go into the application and questioning at that point.
Got it. Thank you, Mr. Kubiga.
You're welcome.
Right, well, you took the words out of my mouth, because I was just about to say, I didn't see anybody calling in, so no one seems that concerned apparently. I guess there's not that much traffic, because I guess they said it was not really a road that was used that much, so I don't know. All right, so we heard from that. Any other questions from any of the commissioners?
Madam Chairwoman, we have no callers.
You have no callers, okay, so any other commissioners have any questions of either of the applicants? Of either of the witnesses, sorry. Okay, hearing none,
The nature of the application, based on Mr. Deutsch's report, our expert witness and our applicant, as well as the questions that have been dialogued, with the board members has been complete in all respects. So to me, having handled numerous street vacates over the years, personally, I feel that this is a very clean cut and very appropriate street vacate, given the area and the nature of the uses and how the street flow of traffic has developed. And the engineering department seems to be affirmative in their review. And again, we're working with the city in terms of any utilities and requirements that might have to take place in terms of access. So I believe it's an appropriate
request. This is just a motion to, request that this be moved on to the city council, correct?
So it's a recommendation.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
correct, I'm sure, yeah. There's no
Okay.
secret approvals or variances or anything, it's.
No, it's just a recommendation,
It's a
okay.
recommendation to the city council, that's really what it is.
Okay, so would any, commissioner like to make a motion?
This is Commissioner Dean, I'll go for.
Okay, please.
On the application of Presidential Properties LLC to 57-259 Presidential Boulevard, Paterson, New Jersey. I move that the board attorney prepare a resolution recommending the application take to the city council. I think these are wording should be, and subject to city engineer approval.
Is that how it should be? Mr. Acquaviva?
Yeah, that's fine, because the resolution will pretty much clarify it all.
Yep, okay, all right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zavalios. Roll call, please. Al?
I'm sorry, yeah, I was just getting the roll in front of me.
Okay. You muted?
There we go. Commissioner Arnett?
Yes.
Commissioner Zavalios?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks? Commissioner Brooks?
No.
Commissioner Figueroa?
Yes.
Commissioner Issa?
Yes.
Commissioner Udine?
Yes.
Commissioner Santana?
Abstain?
Vice Chairman Fisher?
Yes.
And Chairman Urquhart.
Yes.
The application is passed by a 2-4-6-7-1-1 vote.
Okay.
We thank you for your consideration.
Okay, thank you, congratulations, and, I believe we still have business of resolutions, commissioners, so don't leave. Anyone else who's not here for the resolutions can sign off. Okay, Mr. Acquaviva, you're gonna do the resolutions?
I will, and I hope everybody's got the light meal, because we have like, a bunch of fun.
Oh, God, how many? I didn't, how many?
167, Madam Chair.
And I know that's wrong, because I'm not staying overnight for that.
I believe we have 11.
Okay.
Commissioners eligible to vote on each one of these?
Yes, I do. Let me,
I'm gonna go in order that you sent them to me from the first email to the second email.
hold on, let me just, backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
So we're
I'm gonna, just bear with me 1 second, because I just wanted to grab my notes. Give me, not even a minute, I'll be right back.
You may do that, and I will then continue to tell everyone this evening that our next, meeting, okay, will be, June 16th, am I correct, Mr. Deutsch?
You are correct, Madam Chairwoman, June 16th.
Right, so that's our only meeting after this, for this month. And, July will be a reorganization. Who's calling me? Yeah, Commissioner Fisher, you're like kind of garbled. What's going on there?
I don't know. I got one.
Nope. Okay, so you're garbled, so I'm gonna ask you to call me on my cell phone. I can't hear you. No,
Okay.
neither can Linda or anyone else. It's kind of like fuzzy and hazy.
Okay, Madam Chair, I'm ready. I don't know if Michael is.
I'm ready.
Okay. On the matter of, on the application of 165-167, Market Street, LLC. Hello?
I hear something in the background, and so I'm gonna ask everybody to mute themselves, so, Mr. Aquaviva can read the resolution. Please, everybody turn, mute themselves, please.
Mr. Aquaviva, could you begin with, Nasmo, Bull 223 Edmond Avenue? We heard that on April 21st.
Is that the,
I'm sorry, commissioners, I'm gonna ask one last time. Please, everybody, try to mute yourselves. There is background noise. Melinda can't hear. And Mr. Aquaviva and Mr. Deutsch are trying to converse, so please, everybody mute themselves.
Michael, is that in the, email you sent me on Thursday with the 9 emails?
Nasmo, Bull 223 Edmond Ave.
Okay. On the application of Nazmul Babul, the property located at 223-225 Edmond Avenue, block 1304, lot 15. The applicant was seeking minor subdivision approval, site plan approval, and bulk variances to subdivide the existing 6,229 square foot parcel into 2 lots. The board considered this matter at its April 21, 2021 regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner, this is for the subdivision. Commissioner Northrup,
Yes.
Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Wait,
Commissioner Brooks.
wait, hold on, I need a second. We need a second. I made the motion. Who's gonna second it?
Second, by Commissioner Ahmed.
Okay. I'm just gonna go straight down in order. Commissioner Northrup,
I didn't
Yes.
know who the second one was.
It was Commissioner Ahmed. Commissioner Ahmed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead. I said,
Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Savalas,
Yes.
Commissioner Issa,
Yes.
Commissioner Santana, Commissioner Udine.
Yes.
Okay, and on the site plan, we need a motion.
so moved. I need a second.
Second.
So moved. Second, please.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Santana. Roll call, please.
Cool.
Hold on one second, because my, here we go. Paterson Charter?
Yes.
On the application of Paterson Charter School for Science and Technology for the properties located at 32-46 East 35th Street, Block 8307, Lot 2, and 633-637 11th Avenue, Blocks 8307, Lot 4, and 39-53 East 34th Street, Block 8307, Lot 6. The applicant sought conditional use approval, site plan approval, and both variances to operate this application at its January 11th, 2021 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ahmed.
Commissioner Ahmed was not at the meeting.
Okay, sorry. Second, somebody? Second
Second.
by Commissioner Ceballos. Roll call, please.
Yes. Commissioner Northrup,
Yes.
Commissioner Savalos,
Yes.
Commissioner Santana,
Yes.
Commissioner Udine,
Yes.
Commissioner Udine.
I said yes.
Okay, there's the four commissioners that voted affirmative on it.
Okay.
That was a 4-3 vote that evening. So moving on, the next one is Power Gas.
On the application of Power Gas, Inc., for the property located at 195 21st Avenue, also known as 200-204 Madison Street, Block 6008, Lot 651. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances to remove and demolish the existing one-island, two-pump service station with the repair garage, and proposed to construct a new 525 square foot office, storage, sundry sales building, new underground storage tanks, 2 new pump islands with a total of 5 pumps and a new canopy. The board considered and approved this matter at its January 2021 regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second?
Second?
Second.
No.
Second.
Who says, Commissioner Ahmed, said second?
No, that was me calling for it, Madam Chair. I didn't hear you. I believe.
Roll, please.
Okay, Commissioner Northrup,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Commissioner Santana,
Yes.
and Commissioner Udine.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Vincent Construction,
Okay.
LLC.
On the application of Vincent General Construction LLC for the property located at 45 East 21st Street, Block 3815, Lot 9. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances to rehabilitate an existing 2-story structure that has a prior non-residential use into a 4-unit residential building. The board considered and approved this application at its February 3rd, 2021 regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner
Second.
Santana. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Northrup,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Santana,
Yes.
and Commissioner Issa.
Yes.
Okay. Rosa Parks Boulevard.
Okay, on the application of JCM Investors 1012 LLC for the property located at 223-225 Rosa Parks Boulevard, Block 3506, Lot 42. The applicant sought site plan approval and book variances to construct a three-story mixed-use building on a 3,750 square foot vacant parcel. The board considered and approved this application at its February 8th, 2021 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Udine, was that you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Northrup,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Savalos,
Yes.
Commissioner Santana,
Yes.
and Commissioner Udine.
Yes.
Okay. And the next one up, whoops, is 165 Markets, 165-167 Market Street LLC.
Okay, for the property located at 165-167 Market Street, lot 4406, lots 8 and 9. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances to develop a total of 12 new apartments on the second through fifth floors of the existing buildings, which have a combined lot size of 7,920 square feet. The board considered and approved this application at its March 30, 2021 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Do I have a second?
You weren't there, Commissioner Northrup.
When was that?
March 30th.
30th.
I wasn't?
No.
Okay.
The acting chairperson was Commissioner Brooks.
Okay, so I'll back out here.
Do I have
I need a
So
motion.
moved.
So moved by
Second.
Commissioner Brooks. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Cevallos. Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Commissioner Savalos,
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa,
Yes.
and Commissioner Santana.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is 231 Market Street LLC.
Okay, on the application of 231 Market Street LLC for the property located at 231 Market Street, block 4405, lot 21. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances to develop a total of 9 new apartments on the second through fourth floors of the existing building, which has a lot size of 2,350. 21 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Who was that?
Commissioner Ceballos.
I can't hear you.
Commissioner Ceballos.
No, but
Okay.
didn't Commissioner Ahmed, I thought I heard him first.
It's okay.
Doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter. Both made the motion, make a second. Somebody make a second.
Second by Commissioner Dean.
Udine, thank you. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Udine, you were not at that meeting.
Oh, sorry.
Commissioner Figueroa, second.
Okay, Commissioner Figueroa, second.
Okay, great, maybe roll call?
Yes, please, roll call.
Commissioner Brooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Commissioner Savalos,
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa,
Yes.
and Commissioner Santana.
Yes.
Okay. I have, a few more, to be patient, please. Oops. Al, do you have the four I sent today, or no?
Yeah, I have Garden State Management and then
Yes.
JCS.
Let's begin with Garden State Management, please.
Okay. On the application of Garden State Management LLC for the property located at 174 Mill Street, Block 5201, Lot 18, the applicant originally sought site plan approval and both variances on the vacant lot to construct a three-story, three-unit building. The applicant amended the application on the record, eliminating the ground level dwelling, thereby making it a two-family dwelling. Meeting, do I have a motion?
So moved. Second by Commissioner Santana. Roll call,
Who's
please.
the first motion?
Me.
Okay. Roll call. Commissioner Northrup.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa.
Yes.
Commissioner Santana.
Yes.
Commissioner Udine. Commissioner Udine.
You're muted or something, or you're frozen. I see him, but I can't hear him. He's saying yes, thumbs up.
Oh, there it is.
Commissioner Udine.
Unmute yourself. Commissioner Dean, unmute. Yeah,
Alright, we can move on.
okay.
Alright, so the next application is
There's three JCMs.
21 Godwin Avenue.
Which one?
21 Godwin.
Okay, on the application of JCM Investors 1012 LLC for the property located at 21 Godwin Avenue, Block 3605, Lot 21. The applicant for site plan approval and both variances to demolish the existing vacant 3.5-story structure on the parcel and construct a new 3-story residential building with a total of 6 units. The board considered and approved this application at its April 7, 2021 meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Figueroa moved it. Okay, second would be by Commissioner Santana. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Northrup.
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa.
Yes.
Commissioner Santana.
Yes.
And Commissioner Udine.
Yes.
Okay. Next one is 207 JCM Investors 1012 LLC, 207 Governor Street.
Okay, on the application of JCM Investors 1012 LLC for the property located at 207 Governor Street, Block 3211, Lot 33. The applicant sought site plan approval of both variances on a vacant lot to construct a new 3-story residential building at its April 26, 2021 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Northrup, you were not at this meeting.
I didn't miss 2 meetings, so somebody's got the wrong attendance. Sorry. Okay, so I'll back off of this, but check your attendance records. Sorry.
April 26.
Okay, I hear Commissioner Udine. Are you making a motion?
Yes, motion.
Commissioner Udine made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by
Motion
Commissioner Ahmed, you abstained on this application.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Figueroa.
Okay, ready for roll call.
Goody.
Commissioner Savalas,
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa,
Yes.
Commissioner Santana,
Yes.
and Commissioner Udine.
It's a yes.
Okay, so,
Actually, what yeses today.
okay, last but not least, right now,
We have one more, which would make 13, Madam Chair, when I said 9, which is one of the reasons they sent me to law school a long time ago, because I get out.
Well, I'm ready for dinner, so.
all right, last one,
The lunch, let's go.
Masters, 207 Governor Street.
Nope, 71-87 16th Avenue.
Okay, we can do that one too.
On the application of J.C. Investors 1012 LLC for the property located at 71-87 16th Avenue, lot 4317, lot 22. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variance on a vacant lot. The board considered and approved this application at its April 26, 2021 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
Somebody, I can't do it, I wasn't there.
No, you were at the second one that night, you were not at the first one, you can make the motion.
Okay, so moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Udine, roll call please. That was the night I was having problems, I think, with my.
Okay, Commissioner Northrup,
Yes.
Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Commissioner Savalas,
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa,
Yes.
Commissioner Santana,
Yes.
and Commissioner Udine.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's it.
Please tell me that's the end of it, is it?
Since we're coming upon the end of the year, we're gonna try and do the remainder of April and most of May at our June 16th meeting, please.
Okay, well, we have no choice, we're coming to the end, so yes, we'll get through them. And I think Al can probably summarize in a shorter version. Okay, so that being said, I wish everyone a good night. I'll see everybody on the 16th. There's no other meetings this month other than the next, regular meeting on the 16th, okay?
Thank you. Thank you all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Right. Oh.